Hi, welcome to part 3 of classes and objects, and what I want to show you in this is a toString method. So a toString method is just a quick way of printing out the values of all of the member variables of each object that you've created. So it saves you having to write out all these printouts. Printouts there to get the 3 values, printouts there to get the 3 values, and so on. So a toString method, I haven't put one in yet, but you do get a toString method inherited from a class called object. So up the top here, I'm just going to type in extends object. And so every class that you create, it will be a child class of a class called object. So object is the parent, bank account is the child, and that means it inherits certain behavior or certain methods from the object class. And one of those is the toString method. Now I haven't typed one in yet, but what I'm going to do at the end here, I'm going to do a print out of my last object, bank account 3, BA3. Now that's printing out a reference variable. So a reference variable to my third bank account I've created here. Now I'm going to pause this while I draw the little diagram as I have done in the other two, just to make it a little bit clearer. Now here's my little diagram of my reference variable, BA3, refers to a new object created in memory, and this object gets a copy of all the member variables, so name, but Mary was passed into the constructor, so Mary got assigned to BA3's name. The account number I never passed into the constructor, so it stays with the default value. Not good, but that's what's happened. And the balance, I sent in 1500 into the constructor there. It takes an amount that gets sent into the deposit method, and the balance went up by 1500. So that's my object there created for BA3. The last printout I have here, I've just done a call to BA3. When you print a reference variable, it will implicitly call this toString method for you. Now I haven't put one in, but there is one from the parent class object, and I'm going to run this to show you what happens. So what happens there is I get a printout. It prints out call to toString, and that prints out the toString that's in the parent class object. It prints out the name of the the name of the package, dot, name of the class, and at, and that's kind of like a memory address. It's known as a hash code. It looks like a memory address, but it's absolute complete rubbish. So that's no good to anybody. So what you need to do is, to avoid that happening, you need to put in your own toString method, and that's known as overriding it. So by inserting your own method, you're replacing the one that you get by default from the parent class, and you replace it or override it with your own. So just the BA3 here, so that implicitly calls the toString method. You don't go again. You don't have to explicitly put in toString. It will call it for you. If you print out any reference variable, it will call the toString. So here's what it looks like. So public, you're replacing the one from the object class, and what it looks like is it's public. It returns a string. It's called toString, and it doesn't take in any parameters. When you override or replace a method, you have to have the exact same signature. It has to be public, has to return string, has to be called toString, and not take in any parameters. Now, it's not compiling because I've said that I'm going to return a string, and simply I'm not returning a string. So I'm just going to pause this again while I type in everything here. Now, here's what I've typed in. So the toString method should return a string that represents that object. And what represents an object is what all the values of the member variables are. So I've put it like a little heading on a bank account. The name is going to be the name member variable, a new line, and the account number, that's the account number member variable, and then finally the balance. Now to make the balance look good, I've rounded this so you can see the output there below. To make the balance look good, I've rounded it to 2 decimal places because only 1 came out when I didn't use this. So I've used string.format. The string.format takes the same parameters as the printf method. So you've got your string, your format string, your %.2f in it, and I've 1 percentage in there. So what I need to do is a comma and just one value, and the balance will be substituted in where the %.2f is. So that's the string.format. And what that does, it saves me having to do a printout of each of the member variables from outside of the class. I can just do a printout of the reference variable, so BA3. I'm just going to go up a little bit here and just do the same up here. That would be system.out.println, and this is BA2 is my reference to that second object. So that's what it would look like, and that will implicitly call the toString method, so the same as me saying BA.toString. Okay, I'm going to run that. You should see that printed up above. So bank account, that there was for John. Now I'm just going to show you where that toString method comes from. So the toString method, it's inherited from the object class. I'm going to just flick over to the API, which I have open. Top left hand corner, I clicked on the Java Lang package. Bottom left is the Java Lang package. I've clicked on the object class there. That opens up, and if I scroll down, I get to see all the methods, and there's the toString. So just a quick definition. It should return a string representation of the object, and what that means is return a string that textually represents this object. What it means is the member variables. So the member variables will, in this case, name, account number, and balance. Do not put in the static variable. The static variable is not a member variable. It doesn't belong to each class. That belongs to a class. So static variable is also known as a class variable. So do not include that in your toString. So it's recommended that you put a toString into every class that you create. It's really handy just for testing to make sure that everything got set up okay. In the next video, I will show you how to create a class really quickly with some built-in, basically right-click and generating code within Eclipse. And that is our toString method.